Okay, hello. Welcome to the first session of Spiritual Court for the case of Earth beings, incarnating beings on Earth versus the spiritual realm. Now, this is a court hearing. This is a time to discuss and bring matters to the table that are of importance to incarnating beings. This is a time to allow the spirit realm to explain and provide evidence, provide support for why things are happening the way they are down on Earth, address certain concerns. My name is Zanella Chisholm, and I am going to be representing Earth beings today because this is the very first session. This is a self-run session, so I have decided to call this meeting to order. I am deciding to call the spiritual being and their specific representative, whoever they want to send, to address the issues that I have. And, you know, I am one individual, I'm one spirit. I don't know, but I've got my soul, I've got my perspective. So naturally, I'm not going to actually be representing all of Earth beings, all of human beings, all of incarnating beings. But today I stand as an Earth being, as an incarnating being, as a woman, as a soul, and as a Black person who is very irritated with the ways of the spiritual realm and in demand of answers. So that is what I am doing today. I have the Goddess Pele here, and she is going to be watching over this meeting, making sure that justice remains at the core and the center of this proceeding, and ensuring that we are protected during this matter, and that we get the answers that we need. This is just the first. I am hoping that this will grow to represent more human perspectives, more Earth being perspectives. I do have plants surrounding me as well as rocks, and I have a feather. There's birds outside. So I am hoping that and I have water in here. The only thing I'm kind of missing is fire, but I guess, we've kind of got the creativity going. So I am hoping that we get a balanced perspective or representation of Earth here today. I guess you could kind of say fire with, the running technology. So yes, welcome. Let's get started. So for any human beings watching or just incarnating beings watching, this is my very first time ever holding a space for a spiritual court meeting. This is my first time in this lifetime. I don't know if I've done this in previous lifetimes. I'm just going to be going with my gut. I'm using these tarot cards today as a way to allow the spirit realm to speak. So whatever cards that they bring forward, this is their explanation, this is their response. I'm going to just be speaking on behalf of myself and the cases that I think are important to address right now. And beyond that, Anyways, so let's get started. It is July 19th, 2:09 p.m. In Korea. And it's Saturday, 2025. I feel like a little pinch in the back of my scalp. Not sure exactly where that's coming from. But first, I just want to pray over this space. So thank you, Goddess Pele, for being here, for coming forward to help support this meeting. I want to thank all of the Earth beings and all of the incarnating beings, all of the plants, the birds, the breeze. I want to thank Spirit and the Spiritual Court for being here today and showing up. I pray that this meeting remains a safe and protected, peaceful space. I pray that there is productive conversation and that we get real, truthful answers, that we are able to implement action and have a directive for our next few sessions. I pray that this meeting goes well and that It honors the experiences of incarnating beings as well as the experiences of the spirit realm, and brings truth forward as well as a spirit of reconciliation and healing so that we can move forward and do what is best for the planet, do what is best for existence, for species of life, and bring balance and harmony and resolution to the table, because that is what is needed most right now. So let us begin. So I want to begin with asking a question. And I want to know, whose responsibility is it to resolve the cases of atrocity and trauma that are occurring on this planet right now. I also want to know whose responsibility it is to address the karma for experiences of genocide, enslavement, sexual abuse, child abuse, earth abuse that has all taken place on this planet over the course of history, and especially in recent years. I want to know whose responsibility it is to bring healing and bring reconciliation to these issues. And is karma a real aspect of the moving on process when it comes to those experiences? Is there true karma that victims will be able to see come to life? Is that a real thing that is going to happen? So that is where you want to start. So right now I'm shuffling on behalf of the spirit realm, so they can provide their answers. So we have the 3 of Swords at the back of the deck, 5 of Swords, 8 of Swords. Wow. And flew off the table, the Death card. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I'm going to need to make this circle bigger. I mean, come on. 3 of Swords at the back of the deck. We've got the Knight of Cups wanting to peek out. Then we have the 5 of Swords, the 8 of Swords, and the Death card, which I think was reversed. Is reversed. We can read it reversed or up. Right. Okay, so this is the response of the spirit realm. I should probably ask who is representing the spirit realm in this case. I'm going to just give me 1 second. So in order to understand who is representing the spirit realm, I'm going to ask. So who are you that is representing the spirit realm? Or if you are multiple souls, that is fine. But can we understand who we're speaking to? And eventually I will ask why you represent. Who are we speaking to? Ease and grace. Okay. And why you? Surrender at the back of the deck. Okay. Divine timing. Oh, wow. Okay. So I think it was in alignment for us to reach this specific spirit or soul. I feel like an angel of peace. So this might be an angelic representation that we're getting, and a peaceful spirit. So a peaceful angelic spirit is who we're talking to, which is appreciated. Thank you. It's nice to see you. Perhaps a masculine energy. Okay, so we have the 5 of Swords, the 8 of Swords, and the Death card. So this is their response to my first question with the 3 of Swords at the back of the deck and the Knight of Cups. What I'm getting here is there's an energy of being left hanging. There's an energy of being left hanging and kind of discovering what is happening. It's almost like, you know how vast the ocean is, and there can be hurricanes that we didn't even know were happening out on the middle of the ocean, and they're just spinning off in their own world, and they never reach land, they never reach us. So you don't know that they're happening. Number one, I think that karma is a little bit lost in the distance, preoccupied, and caught up in some kind of dust storm. That's what I'm getting from the Five of Swords. I'm getting that, like, karma is, it's present, but it's not available. It's almost like it's not available and it's at a distance from us. And perhaps this is because there is some type of distraction surrounding karma right now. What I am seeing is that there's an energy of being left in the dark, or left hanging, almost like not understanding. I think from the spirit realm, there might be a lack of understanding about what was like left open, what was left running. Like a candle in the dark. For me, when I'm seeing this, it's almost like not all of the lights were put out, or something wasn't put to completion. It might have been a mistake, which is not easy to hear because that's a costly mistake. But it might have been a mistake, like a candle might have been left burning, and that is part of like what has helped manifest and create the state of Earth right now. And all of the trauma. It's like there's a candle from some type of death that just was not blown out. Some type of like homecoming was not completed. There was something left on the table, and there's a realization of this. And this might be because karma did not get to make it to the final house. It's like if, in order for karma to be completed, it had to reach 9 houses. And it's like it was on its way to the 9th house, and then some type of dust storm began and is whirling around karma, the goddess of karma, to the point where she can't reach the house. And so there's a candle burning in that house, and there's something left on the table that is creating this. It's like a festering that is happening from being out too long and not being addressed. And it's not a carelessness that has stopped this addressing. It is because like karma is wrapped up in some type of like cyclical energy. And I keep feeling like a dust storm, and I'm not, it feels like, like it does feel like a bit of a mistake, or like a misinterpretation or something like that. It can be a misinterpretation. It's just like if you have the intention to cook something specific, but if you leave the pot on the stove cooking and you don't address it and you don't guide it, it just becomes something else. It becomes a burnt piece of food or whatever. It's kind of like this. Like there was an intention with having each of these things set out so that karma could come and do whatever karma was intending to do. But because karma hasn't been able to reach this 9th house, so to speak, like the justice has not been able to come, and instead something has been festering from that. Because whatever this 9th house holds, it's a part of some type of cycle that was meant to come to an end, and there was meant to be like retribution came to my mind, but like there was meant to be a closing out ceremony, but it comes from something that needed to have its karma delivered, and probably something that has a little bit of trauma attached to it, but it's been sitting out, and sitting out also in an enclosed space, in an enclosed space. And so with all of that combined, I think that is what's creating such a destructive energy right now on this planet. And I think that right now what Earthbeings are having to deal with is like taking what you are given. making lemons out of making lemonade out of lemons. But it's almost like what Earth beings are dealing with right now is trying to create the origin of something from the product, from the end product. Because what I wanted to say was that it was like making lemons out of lemonade. And that actually feels like a more natural, it rolls off my tongue more easily, which might reflect what's actually happening right now. We are trying to make lemons out of lemonade. We are trying to get the root of something, the origin of something, the mother of something from the child, from the product, from the creation. We're trying to get God out of the creation, but it's backwards. It's not the right way. And so that might be why it's making such destructive decisions, but it's coming from this candle. It's coming from one source. It's almost like a pain point. It's like a wound. It's coming from a wound. And it's manifesting all these things. It might be a certain ancestor's trauma. It might be like, it really could boil down to a single house, a single family. Like the state of the world right now could boil down to one family in particular. And the karma that they were supposed to have wrapped up and like received, and therefore it would be wrapped up, and that cycle would be wrapped up because it's waiting on the table wherever they are figuratively. It's creating this environment on Earth. It could really come down to a single family. Like one pot is boiling over and creating an air in the entire house, One candle in this entire house is transforming the house. Because all it takes is one candle to burn down a house. All it takes is one pot of boiling water to create steam in the entire house, to raise the temperature. All it takes is one. And there's this it's not forgotten, but it's just that, like the sword stress, like karma is not ready. She has not met this yet, this spirit yet. It has not been able to come through or to fruition yet, which is what is. So it's creating a lot of problems, trauma. Yeah. And it could be connected to workers' rights. It could be connected to like whatever this one family or whoever's candle this is, whatever spirit or spiritual movement or whatever era on Earth this candle is attached to. It could not, I don't even know if it's from Earth, but whatever it is connected to, it might be connected to like relationships between religion and the land and work. Religion, land, and work. Religion, land, work, and like production. Religion, land, work, production, reproduction. Like that factory type of, like agriculture, industry, industrialism, like the movement, that entire era, that defining line of history within humans' history. It might be like that's the tether, which would make sense considering what's going on right now on this planet. Yeah. Yeah, and it might be an unintentional hit. It might be an unintentional hit, and there could be contemplation over what exactly to do. I think humans are trying to figure out how to work with this. And I think that the problem is that they are burning themselves because this is like, right now I'm getting like a ache a little bit in my head. I think the problem is that they're burning themselves because, like, I don't think that what we're working with here, we don't understand what we're working with here. We don't know what this is really from or related to. And so what we think we can handle is, I think, more toxic than we know. And we're trying to get to the point, but I think it's scalding. It's scalding. And like we're still fighting to try and get up and figure this out. And I think there's an aspect of surrender that needs to take that needs to take form, take grip, take hold on from the human perspective. We might need to give up a little bit in terms of trying to work with this thing, trying to make lemons out of lemonade. It's not working. We've been shot, we've been hurt, and whatever comes next, like it's happening. It's happening. There might be a level of acceptance that needs to occur on the human aspect, because I don't know when karma is going to be freed of whatever storm she's caught in. I really don't. And because of that, and I'm not really seeing the presence of another being that is coming to help or something like that. Like, I'm a little curious about this figure here. But I really am not sure. It is like a little atom or like Plutonian, but I really am not sure. And so humans might need to prepare themselves to deal with the full manifestation of what we've been brought. We might need to be prepared to face the full reaction of this thing sitting in this space, in this container for this long, and us having to be surrounded by it or dealing with it. We might need to prepare for that and accept that this is what is happening, that perhaps as of right now, like, karma is not occurring. So what do you do if you can't rely on the spirit realm? If you can't rely on karma to bring, like, the system is broken or it's not functioning. It's not that it's broken, but it's not, there's like a pause because it's been disrupted. And this is, I think, the thing about the spirit realm. Like, it's not just Earth. It's not just Earth and the spirit realm. The spirit realm and karma is not just, a goddess on Earth. It's a spirit that moves throughout. And so while we may have been next in line, it's not like something has cut us in line, or even like there's some type of spell that's been cast that's taken karma away, or some type of atrocity. It just, like, this is like the nature of the universe. We are right now, it seems like, becoming a victim to the nature of the universe because karma is caught up in a dust storm. And I don't know how long she will be there, or that energy will be there, but while she's there, this is happening. It's happening, and there's nothing we can do to stop it because it's already started. Like, the smoke has already started. You know what I mean? It's already in the air. The things are already manifesting. And so, like, that there might be a level of acceptance that needs to happen. Okay, so I wasn't really expecting that. So let's then ask ourselves, okay, I'll keep the Ten of Cups down here. So, okay, forgiveness and acceptance. Is that the next step? Is that what would be most helpful for humans and for the earth right now? Forgiveness and acceptance? Is that what we need to do? Like, what does that look like? What does that healing process look like? I'm not even sure if it's about healing so much. Preparation. The Nine of Swords, that's what I was thinking about. The Nine of Swords is what I was thinking about when I was talking about the nine houses. The Ten of Cups, the Tower, and the Queen of Cups is their response to, is that the next step? I think that what they're saying is that you see the next step. You see the next step. You see what's happening. I am getting this energy of pause. Because something is raining down on Earth, and it is painful energy. It's swords energy. It's the Nine of Swords. There is a destructive energy. There's a lot of fire. There's a lot of heat on Earth right now, and not a lot of coolness to balance it out. And there is still life growing, but it's not easy. And there's something trying to pull life back. There's something trying to pull new beginning back. I think that we need to be very careful and very cautious about producing new life, what new life we produce right now. I think that the fact that a lot of women are choosing not to have children is a good response to this, because I do not think that we should be beholden to motherhood and trying to make sure that the ones that we love the most survive while trying to figure out what is happening or how to cope and adapt to what is happening right now. And that doesn't mean that forever and ever we're not having children. I just think it makes sense to pause for a little bit. And it's funny because I think there is a bit of a lineup in the back order on energies and spirits that want to come to Earth, or that are prepared to come to Earth, that have been manifested in form to come to Earth, that are not being sent and that are being held back right now, because I think that women especially can see what is coming and are we need to be in a strategy position, working on how to free ourselves from the little things that will try to tear back new beginnings, and that will try to tear back life before we just go into production mode. This is bigger than, the survival of our species or carrying on our own life forms. And I say this as somebody who wants to be a mother. I think it is a good idea right now to clear our womb space to allow for other ideas to be produced other than ones that require so much of our focus, like children, so that we can focus on solution making right now, and meaning making of this new reality, because I'm not sure how long this reality is going to last, but the first few swords are dropping, but there's more coming. You know what I mean? This is the beginning. So there is more of this energy to come, and we need to be prepared for that. But along with there being, it's there's destructive energy, but it's kind of coming up in the form of resources. This isn't all negative, it's difficult because this is not energy that, this is energy that was supposed to be cleared out. This is cyclical. This is, it's karmic in nature, but it's not karma in it's not the balanced form. It's one aspect of karma that was waiting for the other aspect of karma to come and complete it, and it's been left hanging. So it is karmic, but it's not full karma. It's not the fullness. And so that's a little bit difficult to deal with, to manage. It's kind of blinding, because you don't get the full picture of what this is supposed to be. This is not the full picture. This is not what the intended path was. And so there is adaptation that has to be addressed right now. This is like a natural disaster that is happening on Earth right now, but spiritually. So So the same way that the Earth is going through her own natural disasters and her own evolution as a planet because of climate change, it might be true that in the spirit realm there is another form of natural disaster that is having to be understood and managed right now, because like a dust storm is a dust storm is a dust storm, and like what are we to do? It is what karma is dealing with right now, and so it is what we must manage as well. But along with what is falling out here of the sky, what is manifesting, like some of these can be solutions. A lot of these can be resources. A lot of these can be tools, because it's almost like you have to cut through, because it's not that Earth is not able to produce new life. It's not that we are unable to produce new life. It's that the production of new life is happening naturally, because there's actually a lot of fire right now in the in the energy on this planet, and the heat is creating. So new life is happening. But the thing that's also happening is that the same thing that new life is growing from, also growing from that thing, or like little things that like try to suffocate the new life, try to take the new life back. So what we need in our new beginnings are swords to cut away the binds and the cords that try to wrap themselves around our new beginnings. It's like if this plant is growing, right? This plant is growing out of a tree, out of a branch, out of a stem. But imagine along with this plant growing, there's also some type of like spiky, poisonous like rope that ties it. And they're both coming from this same origin. They're both coming from this thing. But the spiky origin thing, the spiky thing that's trying to wrap itself around the plant is trying to pull it back into itself and not allowing the plant to begin its own new experience. And so what would be helpful for this plant is if it had like a sword that it could use to cut that thing away. And I think that what's dropping from the sky right now are swords. What's dropping from the sky right now are resources and information that we can use to cut away the other half of what's manifesting in the air right now. Because as much as new beginnings are manifesting, there is something else new that's a little poisonous and destructive that tries to kill the new beginning, and that just might be the nature of it. And so we need tools and resources to cut that thing away so that we can continue to grow upward and out and onward and outward, so that we can replenish the planet. And I think what's dropping right now from the sky are it's the swords that we need. There's definitely like sword energy is powerful and air energy is powerful, and that might be coming through in the form of like information. This might really be the information era, which I remember my sister saying. But yeah, this could really be the information era. Yeah. Look at that. Even at the back of the deck, we have the Two of Swords. Lots and lots and lots of air energy. Kind of the only thing we haven't really been seeing a lot of is Pentacles, which is earth energy. But lots of air energy. Okay, I think for today we'll do one last question and we can reconvene again later. What should our last question be? Thank you for that answer. Well, in my head, what came up was what is detrimental to us. What is detrimental to us? And so I guess I'll go with that. Yeah, what is detrimental to us? Okay. At the back of the deck, we have the Ten of Swords. So So we've had swords at the back of the deck for every shuffling. We started with the 3 of swords, then we went to the 2 of swords, and now we have the 10 of swords. 3 plus 2 equals 5, and then 5 times 2 equals 10. Then here in this circle, we finally have an earth card with the 8 of pentacles, the 8 of discs, the star, and the lovers. For some reason, when I said discs, I thought of the stars. I thought of stars. And then we have the star and the lovers. For some reason, this is making me think star-crossed lovers. And that is what's detrimental to us right now. Star-crossed lovers. And that might be because of how seriously karmic the energy is in the air right now, because of what is happening. What is happening in the 9th house. There might be something happening in the 9th house. What is the 9th house ruled by? I don't really... See, I've been pushed to go into astrology and I didn't listen. 9th house. Is it Pluto? Who is it ruled by? Is it Saturn? 9th house astrology. Let's see. 9th house is ruled by Sagittarius and the planet Jupiter. Okay, the 9th house is ruled by Sagittarius and the planet Jupiter. Interesting. Sagittarius. Okay, well that's a teacher. Okay, anyways, so the star and the lovers and the 8 of pentacles. 6 might be an interesting number right now. But, this might be reason why. There might be there might be, so what's crossing us right now is it's the star-crossed lovers energy. A huge soulmate movement, but I'm not sure it's for the best because of the karma in the air and it being uncompleted karma. So unfortunately, what might be taking over the love realm, the love aspect of life right now on the planet is karmic relationships. And I don't say karmic in a degrading way because I don't know anything about, I don't really even know what karmic means. It's just what I'm being led to say right now. Okay, hold on. I'm having to rethink myself because all of a sudden this deck is coming through. So give me a minute. This might need more clarity. Can you clarify? So what's crossing this energy? Can you clarify it? Because perhaps I misread in the beginning. Maybe it's confusion. Oh, wow. That's a lot. Abundance, blessings, yes. And no, guardian angel. Okay. Can you clarify what is detrimental to us? There could be an abundance of karmic loves. And like I said, I'm not saying that karmic is not a bad word. It's just karma. So it's just what you're owed. But perhaps you need to be clear on from what lifeline, from what lifetime. You know, how would this save you from what, you know? Trust the universe, surrender, earth, and ground. Sorry, hold on. Take charge and action. Transformation. Earth and ground. Maybe there is a lot of love coming through on the planet right now. What's happening right now? Are you being coerced or manipulated or something? Who am I speaking to? Because, you know, sometimes these sessions can be disrupted. I'm like, what is going on? This is all out of nowhere. forgiveness and understanding, strength and guidance. Why are you coming through right now? You're distracting from the message. What is it that you need to say? I feel like there is some type of it could be some type of king of the past or soldier of the past, empire of the past, that wants to deliver some type of message. Pele, what do you think? Like, what is this? Do the work, expect miracles. Okay, fine, I'll let it happen. So, okay, pause on you guys. Okay, so give me 1 minute. Okay, I'm going to clear the energy. There's a disruptive king that decided to come through, but we're going to let it be. So it's kind of giving me King of Swords energy. King of Swords, Emperor energy. But I'm going to clear this energy and let them speak. So what is it that you want to say? Since you decided to interrupt our meeting. Queen of Swords, I see. Ace of Wands, okay, but why are you not the Page of Swords? Look at all these swords. I'm telling you, there's something about air energy. There's something about air energy. 5 of Discs, King of Swords, 2 of Discs. Okay. King of Swords again. 4 of Wands. It is written. Something you wrote. Oh, look at that. Sorry. Ace of Discs, the Fool, and the 3 of Wands. Oh yeah, we haven't had many wands either. We haven't had fire either. Look at that. Queen of Swords, King of Swords. King of Swords, Queen of Swords. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, wow. Wait. Look. And it was like this. And I flipped it perfectly. And it was like that. That does connect to what we were saying. It's just that it reinterprets it. Maybe this is what they're talking about. So there's 2 sides to every story, right? 2 sides to a coin. What's being dropped from the sky right now are swords. Those swords can be used for good. Those swords can be used for bad. The new beginnings are happening. Earth is very abundant right now, able to create a lot of blessings right now, able to create a lot of curses right now, able to create a lot of devastation right now. We're living in extremes because there's a transformation happening and we're in a lot of the unknown and in a death state because we are awaiting karma. So we're in the in-between, very karmic. Okay, so there's a lot of potential in this space. I remember I was saying what's dropping from the sky can be resources. They can be tools, but when I originally read it, I was like, there's a lot of pain also available. 2 sides to every story. I think that there's like karmic relationships or patterns. There's something like coming together. Like there is partnership. 9/11, 144. There's a lot is possible. A lot is possible. A lot of different timelines are possible. And we could be cycling through different timelines. We could be coming up on one that is particularly nice, that we would be particularly fond of. And it could be coming up quite soon. Like the tree could be in the middle of being chopped down and being put into this boiler of timelines as we're running through the different timelines that we want. There's one that could be coming up that is quite favorable. And we would need to, number one, be able to recognize it, because it could come in like this emperor, like this king just came in. Very abrupt, very all of a sudden, very loud, very intrusive, like my head. I've been having a headache for the last, like since they came, but even before that, which means their energy was probably on its way. But very intrusive, totally took over the reading, totally took over this proceeding, and turned the tables. So it's something coming up. You might need to be able to, you have to be open, right? So I originally looked over at that deck. I decided to start moving through it for some reason, and it caught my attention enough that I picked it up, started shuffling the cards, was completely confused by it, kind of annoyed by it, asked Pele what she thought, ended up getting the do the work and expect miracles card, so I let it happen. So I moved the cards aside. That wasn't right. Had to put the cards back in the deck, reshuffled, and got all these cards, and then had this experience where cards were flipping in the deck. Then this was remaining at the back of the deck, the King of Swords. And now here we are at this point where the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords are back to back, face to face. Two sides of the same coin, turned in on each other, recognizing each other. We might be flipping, it could literally be one flip away. It could be one thing away. And it's like, if you're halfway there, it's not like the next step is 51. It's like the next step is 100. So if you're halfway there, and that means you're 50% there, the next step is not 51. The next step is 100. And I think the reason why is because it's times two. Remember when I was in the beginning, I was adding the back of the deck energies together, because I was noticing that they were all swords. I said that we started with the 3 of Swords, then we had the 2 of Swords, and then we had the 10 of Swords. And I said 3 plus 2 equals 5, and 5 times 2 equals 10. And I said that there was something there, but I wasn't able to put it together. But that 5 times 2 equals the 10. I think that there is something here where it's like the next step isn't a step, it's a jump, it's a leap into completion. Maybe karma is about to be freed up from this dust storm. I don't know. Maybe the storm is about to be over. For the past few years, I had been getting this storm energy. And so whenever it would rain, I would wonder if something significant was going to happen, because I was feeling this storm energy. And perhaps it's the goddess Oya. But now I'm wondering if actually maybe it's that the dust storm is about to stop. And so maybe karma is actually literally about to come. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm trying to read this energy, and that is something that I am wondering. I just opened up to who we've been talking about representing karma this entire time, which is the 5 of Swords. Again, 5 times 2 equals 10. And what did we start this whole conversation with was the Hanged Man at the back of the deck. You've been left hanging, right? We've been left hanging, but here's the 5 of Swords in her dust storm. Perhaps the dust is actually clearing. Perhaps the dust is actually settling. Perhaps not going to be like this for much longer. Maybe it's been stitched. What the Queen of Cups was working on, because the Queen of Cups in this reading was working on something, and it was like, that's when I was saying, oh, you actually see you see the next step. You see the next step. That's what I was saying. And maybe it's because you're creating the next step. We were creating the next step. But I'm looking for the Queen of Cups right now, because I want to show you, what she was working on, because what she was working on is there she is. You see what she's working on here? She's working on this like sash, and that's exactly what the hanged man, the hanged woman is wearing here. So you were creating the next step. You were creating it, some type of clothing, something you could wear. And now maybe it's done. Maybe it was done before this reading even started. But maybe this reading is meant to be a time capsule to document like what was happening during this era on Earth and why things had been held up for so long. Maybe this could be a gift of this king. Maybe this king is the family that this karma descends from, whose light was never blown out. And maybe they weren't a bad guy. I mean, who knows what they did on Earth, but because in the death card, there was this skeleton, and I wasn't really addressing him because I didn't know what to make of him. But maybe that was the king the entire time. Maybe that was the king the entire time. What does this actually mean? I mean, let's open up the circle and see, because it's like, what does this actually mean? Maybe something really is complete. And maybe we just had to be distracted. This really took a turn. I was not expecting all this. I really am like, okay. Maybe she really is coming. The Queen of Pentacles. The Hanged Man. The King of Cups, the Page of Discs. Maybe something really is coming, but it really might fall out of the sky. Like, it really might come out of nowhere. Because there might be like some decision makers who are like looking at your performance and being like, yeah, activator. And so then like your activator comes in and it's like you break free, you wake up. What a random turn of events. 5 of Wands at the back of the deck. These fives, lots of fives, which I've been seeing. I've been seeing the fives. 9 of Pentacles, the Chariot. Raise your vibration, stays coming out, so does intuition and downloads. Okay, any final messages? I'm getting tired. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just so like, kind of like, where is this coming from? I'm kind of shocked, I'm not gonna lie. It's just unexpected. It just really came out of nowhere. Like, I feel like we were talking about something specific and now we're talking about something, like, it's just different. Joy and contentment. Angelic protection. Okay. Do the work. Take action. Take charge and action. Of what? Take action towards what? Like, maybe send your messages, send your arrows out where they need to go, because it's like you've got a magical arrow, or like you've got some magical stuff in your satchel, or like maybe this Mercury retrograde is actually about to be really fantastic for communication, and like it's actually all being flipped on its head. Like, what is this? Take charge and action. Like, do what work? Self-acceptance, blessings and abundance, spiritual growth. Maybe we're just being really on the ball. I just think something must be coming your way. I don't know. To break the cycle, to break liberation. Do what work? Yeah, some type of like defense spirit or warrior spirit. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's a little bit. Take a step back. Expect miracles. Intuition download. Okay. Maybe it's doing this work. Communicating. All right. Well, we did our first session. This is welcome to spiritual court. I guess this is where this is my first time too, so you gotta rock with me. Like, I don't know. I feel like we've ended on such a, like, I don't know what's going on, to be honest, but I'm just rocking with it. I'm sure it'll all come together. I understand what's being said. Like, I think to take a step back and, like, looking at all this, okay, maybe it's what I'm doing right now. That's personal to me. Maybe it also applies to you. You know, with all the messages were clear to me. They're not unclear. I'm just like, it's just like it was so out of nowhere. You know, it's like, what was really even going on here? You know, it's like, this is a kangaroo court, but I guess we can never really know what we're doing until we're done doing it. So that's okay. I still consider this to be good. I'm just a little bit confused now. I'm not gonna lie, but I guess that's life. All right. Well, it's a good reading. I keep saying reading, but I wanted, like, this isn't supposed to be a reading. It's supposed to be spiritual court. Maybe I'm reading the court documents. Maybe I'm just supposed to be reading documents. I'm reading the court documents. Anyways, you let me know what you think of this. I don't even know what I'm going to title this. Oh, I'm sure Spirit will help me and Goddess Pele. So, yeah. Okay. Well, I'll see you guys next time then. Toodaloo, toot, 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 toot.